Hi, Ryan. I'm so excited to chat with you today.
Hey John, thanks so much for having me.
Awesome. So first, I want to introduce myself. My name is John Schiff. I'm a senior finance major at TCU, and I'm also pursuing my certificate in consultative selling. And so that's actually how I got brought to you, is I reached out to Miss Carol, and she put me in contact with you to get some advice about my career, and then also your career as a HR professional.
Awesome, thanks so much. Yeah, Ryan Detillier with Paylocity. I've been in the industry for about 15 years from a sales consultant perspective. So I'm excited to have this call today and look forward to our discussion.
Wonderful. So first question for you is how and where did you get your start in HR?
Yeah, it goes back to 2005. I was actually working at Enterprise Rent a Car, and I rented a car to someone that had worked at Paychecks, and I had never heard of the organization before. So from that point, I was intrigued, and you know a few months later, I started there back in 2005, and was there for about 9 years, and about years ago, I came over to Paylocity. So yeah, 15 years in the industry, so have seen a lot over the years, and looking forward to kind of diving deep today with you.
Wonderful. So what are some differences between working in HR and being a vendor in HR?
Yeah, speaking from as a vendor in the HR space, I can speak to my experience in really partnering with organizations. There's HR professionals that are within inside of every organization, and depending on the scale and the size of that company, really can determine on, what they really are specialized in. So let's say you have a smaller company that has 40, 50 employees. There may be an HR manager, payroll manager, and they do everything. Whereas as organizations grow, they may have a specialist just for benefits, a recruiter, a wellness coordinator. There's just so many different avenues. So being a vendor, I've been able to partner with companies of all sizes and really hear different perspectives and kind of what they're looking for as they're trying to leverage technology like a Paylocity.
Um, how do you stay on top of the trends and changes in HR?
In this day and age, there's so much information out there. It really started off with getting connected and plugged into Fort Worth HR. It's going to the luncheons. It's connecting with the individuals. Pre-COVID, you could sit down at a table at a luncheon and sit next to someone like yourself that's just now getting into the HR profession, or someone that's been in it for 20, 30 years. So you never know other relationships that you're going to form. And I can say that I've met a lot of great HR professionals and become close friends with a lot of them over the years. So, that's one way. Being a vendor and a sponsor of their conferences, you have the employment law update in the spring, and then the strategic mindset in the fall. So over the years, had the opportunity to, be a sponsor, and really just kind of see what the topics are, and what's, weighing on the minds of HR professionals. So, and there's also LinkedIn and Twitter and podcasts. There's so many different ways that you can consume information. I think it just really comes down to what's your best way to kind of get connected. So yeah, that's kind of the what I've done over the years, and also with my peers in within Paylocity. We do a great job at sharing different articles by SHRM or other HR professional organizations. So yeah, there's a lot out there.
So how do you use Wise LinkedIn, and do you think that you use it effectively?
Yeah, absolutely. So, there's organizations that, either they currently partner with Paylocity, or, I think they could be a good fit. So, following their company pages, kind of seeing what their initiatives are. Are they, scaling up? Are they looking to grow in the next year or two? Or are they, maybe they're in an industry that has been severely impacted by COVID, or, oil and gas. So there's companies that are having to downsize, but sometimes downsize means we need more technology because we don't have enough bodies to do the work that we previously had. So now we need to become more efficient to empower our employees, our frontline managers, the administrative team, and the executive leadership. So there's a lot of ways that it's all about perspective and kind of how you can best fit and partner with people.
So, final question for you is, what advice would you give to students and recent graduates about finding and or working in their first professional job?
Yeah, I think it starts off with identifying, what are your core values as an individual? What really excites you, or what type of organization do you want to work for? There's so many great external resources like Glassdoor, LinkedIn. There's just ways that you can kind of get a feel for, is this the kind of culture and company that I want to work for? So identifying, in top places to work, best companies in Fort Worth, best companies in DFW. And then from there, trying to see, do they have a position that aligns with what I'm looking to accomplish? And I think just getting your first start, because once you get into an industry, you can kind of find your feel for, okay, this is something I really can see myself doing, or does it require you to pivot or go into a different direction? Because I can say personally, I never thought I'd be where I am today if I kind of kept a very concrete blueprint. It just, sometimes you never know where life's going to take you. So I think that's where just be open-minded, but keep your core values and kind of what's going to bring you satisfaction, and then from there just kind of go where the path leads you. That would be kind of my top two things I would recommend.
So you mentioned, moving to Paylocity about 6 years ago. What drew you to the firm?
Yeah, at the time, it was a company that was based in Chicago, experiencing some significant growth. They went from a private company to a public company, and there were actually two of my former colleagues that I worked with that said, "Hey, we're looking to bring on another team member. We'd love for you to come on board." So that's where having those connections, you probably have people in your class today that you're going to stay connected, and as they move to different companies, so like they may reach out to you or you reach out to them, because sometimes just knowing when opportunities are coming up, it's an inside track. So that's how I came to Paylocity. So sometimes it's divine intervention, and you never know where you're going to end up.
No, that's a great answer. I really appreciate your insight. And again, Ryan, I really appreciate all your time, you being willing to chat with me. Really appreciate all of your answers, insight, and advice. It was extremely helpful, and I'm sure whoever watched this video is going to get a lot out of your answers as well.
Yeah, John, thanks so much for having me. And I extend this invitation to yourself or anyone else that's watching the video. I'm all about paying it forward and helping young professionals early in their career. If there's anything that I can do, absolutely reach out. I can provide my contact information, or John can get a hold of me as well. But really appreciate the opportunity to be part of this journey with HR professionals.
Thanks again, Ryan. Really appreciate it.